Hello, my name is Jacqueline Mazika, and I'm here to give you my take on F.W. Taylor and scientific management and how he influenced what we know as management today. F.W. Taylor was born in Pennsylvania on March 20th, 1856. He died March 21st, right after his 59th birthday, in 1915. He was a mechanical engineer, an efficiency expert, and was dubbed the father of scientific management. After going to regular school, he was from an affluent family and could have gotten into Harvard for his skills alone, but due to eyesight and headache issues, he chose to go to work. His first job was in an internship, and after he finished his internship, he went to Midvale Steel, which is in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. He worked there for 12 years, and he started at the low-rung laborer position. He moved up quickly, whether due to his ability or the contacts that his well-to-do parents had. Different opinions on that. But as he worked his way through, and he got up to a management position, he began observing the workers and noticing what they were or were not doing, and since he was in that position, he knew what they could do. So he began to figure out what was the most efficient way for them to work. At first, he ran into many problems as the workers didn't want to change. Change is hard. Soon, he was known to do the stop and motion study. He learned from his teachers, one specific teacher, to have a stopwatch and to time somebody on how fast they could do a task. He also used measuring tapes, scales, to figure out the best ways and the most efficient ways to do a job, whether it be using a different shovel for different sized pebbles, or if it was to have the employee stand still and the project move down the line, as in an assembly line. He also is credited with having his own cost accounting system. He wanted a way to keep track of cost and a way to measure if the task being done was being done the most efficient way, and now he had a measure to quantify it by. Again, this was not met with the highest regards because it showed immediately if there was lacking in the fields. Some of the upper management like to hide that from their bosses and stakeholders. I really didn't want to like Taylor because he was very blunt, and he also had a way of taking the human out of the equation. He almost made it seem like they were robots. Found the most efficient way to do something, showed them, taught them, expected them to do it. But he did admit later on that there is a human factor. He is quoted with saying, "No system can do away with the need of real men. Both system and good men are needed, and after introducing the best system, success will be in proportion to the ability, consistency, and respect authority of a management." He knew that the laborer needed to respect the management, and management needed to respect the laborer. If there was not harmony between the two, they would never meet their best efficiency. This gave me a little bit more caring involved with him. He worked with the Ford Company, and they used the Taylorisms in what would become the assembly line, where they evaluated when a car was put together how much time it took to switch tools get the parts they needed. And they found that it was more efficient to move the product and have people stationed where they needed to be and have diverse tasks. So each employee was responsible for a certain set of the process. This has become very well known in more than just the car industry. You'll see it in the making of crayons with Crayola crayons. The factory, the product moves around and people are designated with certain responsibilities. The product goes past them. Same is happening with cosmetics and pretty much anything that needs to be processed. The assembly line became the most efficient way to go. So I have to admit, Taylor is not such a bad guy. He even admitted that a little bit of kindness goes a long way when dealing with your employees. We know today the carrot and the stick, the carrot being the incentive, and the stick that's not. So Taylor found what incentives were needed. In most parts, a little kindness went a long way. My references are available on my written paper, and you're welcome to look at them there. Thank you for your attention on this subject, and please remember that these are the opinions of me and me alone, and I appreciate your attention to this. Thank you and good night.